What's up? What's good? What's good? Oh, happy lunchtime, everybody. Welcome to the lunch chat and stroll with your boy Rico. It's beautiful Tuesday, October 26th. Afternoon, lunch. Some of you may be finishing up your lunch, but you have a little bit left that you have to take back to your desk. And some of you are just starting lunch at 1 o'clock. It depends on where you work, or if you work for yourself. Welcome. Let me, Mary Max. Whew. Tino, what's good, bro? You see, what's up? Okay. Alright. Just trying to get some hydration here. Because started back running yesterday. Whew, it's almost like riding the bike. You wobble a little bit, but you get back on, and before you know it, you be popping those wheelies again. Y'all keep sending over friend requests. Even though I'm at 5,000, I'll let you sit till somebody gets upset, then they'll leave, and I'll just add you. That's how it works over here with me. I think one more swig should do it. Whew. Okay. Alright. That right there, and let's get on the move. Start my stroll. So let me go ahead and do a little house cleaning. First of all, let me enjoy this breeze. My goodness. It's a perfect overcast day. Sun goes in, and comes out. Little cool breeze just accompanying it. Cochise, what's good, bro? Now the sun is trying to peek through. Awesome day to be on the outside. But it's still the pandemic. And I hope everybody's still being careful. Even though I see everybody out doing the damn thing, but still, whether you've taken the potion or not, still be safe. Wear the mask when you need to, you feel you need to. And check on one another, because there's some people who are still on the inside. Check on folks. So they're doing. Mental health is real. And I'm always open to talk to brothers and sisters who want to have a conversation through Zoom or what have you. Just to drop some things off. Because I was for the past 24 years a master's level social worker. Work with mental health as well as addiction. I had clients, I did groups, education groups, so right now, I figured out what I want to do next. So, it's just tell everybody, look, we're never going to get another day out from life the way we've gotten for the past year and a half. And I've enjoyed it, and I was trying to get back on. I know I want to go back into social work, but not in the level that I've worked for the past 24 years as of 2020. I don't want to do treatment centers anymore. I did a whole Facebook thing on it. I don't want to do treatment centers anymore. I want to do outpatient or inpatient. If I do outpatient, I like the education groups. I don't like the heavy stuff anymore because it drains you. But anger, theft prevention programs, I love those. I enjoy doing batterers groups with like men. I'll do it with the ladies too, but the men's groups outnumber the ladies groups. I enjoy facilitating those groups. Those are awesome. see, theft, and probably some relapse prevention. Say, hey, what happened? Let's try it this time. Let's do this. Stuff like that, you know, because when you deal with mental health and addiction, they all mingle, cross section, go with each other. They are what's considered they co-occur. It does pull from you, so, and then a lot of treatment centers don't like to pay you what you're worth, and so it's almost like school teachers. They know when someone gets into teaching and education, they know they love it, and so they pay them low and inch them up in nickels and dimes and quarters every year. That's how they do social workers. Those of us who do education, unless we go into ownership, owning the facilities and all of that. Sometimes, you know, we talk about ownership. Sometimes you just don't be in the mood for that shit, because a lot that comes with that, particularly in this field. Or you can just hire people to do it. But one thing about this market, it goes up and down. And a lot of times when these people have these facilities, they're dependent upon county and state contracts. And y'all know it depends on the state government or the federal government where you will continue to receive their funding. And so every 2 years or 3 years, depends on how long the contract is and how big of a flow the customers are through the courts and all of that. Sometimes these companies may not get their contracts renewed, and there goes your job. Becomes in jeopardy. So you just get tired of that. Or you work for these grant-funded and county contract having treatment centers. You ask for a raise, well, you know, we got a tight budget, because especially if it's a nonprofit. Man. What's up, Kevin? You haven't missed anything yet. I'm just doing a little monologue before I get to it. And so, and I'm just kind of over all of the bureaucracy and the policy. I enjoyed helping the students. Helping the clients. I've been taught for a while. I was an adjunct assistant professor at one of the local universities here in Dallas-Fort Worth. One of the white ones, of course. And it was cool. But I didn't think I was, ready yet to do that. Because I always said I wanted to be a professor. But I guess at the time that I was given an opportunity to do it, I jumped on it. But I was still working in my facility, and I didn't put my all into it. Who knows, later on, maybe later in my 50s or something, maybe after I get the clinical license in my field and something like that, I'll maybe return to the classroom. But I prefer to be at the HBCU, though. Because let me tell y'all something, I was working at that PWI. I felt, it's like guilty, and I felt like, kind of restrained a little bit. Like I was always under a microscope because I'm a black dude and I was heterosexual, masculine black man. Trust me, in a lot of these schools, they might have 1 or 2 black people. It's going to be mainly females, but if they have men in there, and everybody's about this politically correct crap, and it's almost like men aren't even allowed to even have zippers on their pants. I'm telling you, I don't work like that. And I know a lot of these HBCUs have gone down that liberal, left, extreme foolishness path as well. The LGBT and all that shit, and trans, and I know it. So I'm probably better just being in private practice. I'm not going to call him ma'am. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look at a boy dressed like Madonna from 1984's Like a Virgin video and say, well, ma'am, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. Kevin said, you saw your sorry-ass president on TV yesterday? I know that's not the topic, but just wanted to know your thoughts. No, Kevin, I didn't see the sorry-ass president on TV yesterday. When he was elected, I already understood that he wasn't going to be shit. When he was vice president for the biracial Obama, I knew he wasn't going to be shit. So I'm not really surprised. My thing is, how come the Biden sexuals aren't saying anything about the man that they love so much, and anybody else who didn't vote for him called us stupid, and we don't know what we're doing, and y'all voting for a racist? I want them to have something to say about their president. Got it? So, but anyway, what the topic is today, and again, back to the hold on before I go to the topic, let me finish up on that other one. I would love to work in a university. probably in the counseling department, something like that. Because I think the classroom may be a little too political, and but when counseling, you can just it's I guess that's a much more comfortable environment, because the client is in there for a specific reason and you're there to help them. Now in the classroom, it can become very political based on all those people sharing different topics and various points, which I don't mind. The thing is, when I share my point, all of a sudden hell breaks loose. So I'll just wait a while on that, okay? But one of these days, when I feel confident enough and want to go back, I'd like to teach at something like I'll teach at my dear old Bramley. Get that doctorate of education, say, what's up? Let your boy come in and teach some of these social work classes. Let your boy teach a couple of these psychology classes. Well, put me in that counseling center. Let me go ahead and be the director over there, or the head counselor over there, and do the marketing for the counseling center, and stuff like that. And at an HBCU would be great. Texas Southern, that's right away. Supposed to. Prairie View's up the way. Grambling's like 4 hours away. Something like that. If I were to go home to Memphis, Lemoyne College, Russ College is up the way, in Holly Springs. So I feel comfortable teaching what I know. Again, when I felt guilty and felt like, what I'm telling these multicultural, mainly white girls in my classroom, a Muslim girl and probably 2 black chicks, I would love to be telling to an all-black class of black males and black females, about what I learned over 24 years and giving it to them instead of to others. Yeah, I know it's terrible, but it's just that's how I'm wired. I'd rather be giving our stuff to our kids. So anyway, let me get into what the topic is. Dave Chappelle said, most recently, I will not be summoned. I will not bend. That's what he said to the LGBTQPIA, trans. He said that they're tripping about Netflix being a safe place, a safe workplace. And then he said, hey, hell, it's like I'm the only one who's not allowed to come to work. Perfect. And what I enjoy what's going on to the fullest, because finally people have began to at least rumble about how, as they said in religious people's Bibles, in the last days, that would be wrong would be made to look right, and what is right would be looked at as being wrong, and those who are going for right will be persecuted. Come on, somebody. And that's what we're seeing right before our eyes. You got a weird-ass group of people. The whole LGBT is a weird-ass community. All of them are different sets of people. L, lesbian, G, gay, B, bisexual, GBT, trans, LGBTQ, queer, QIA, intersectional, and then IA, intersectional, then go across the board politically, what have you, and allies, those who cool with them. And then they keep leaving out P, LGBTQP, because pedophiles are part of that community as well, but they don't want to accept them. Now y'all accept a man putting on lipstick and a wig and say, I'm a ma'am, but y'all want to accept grown-ass people that like to have sex with children? That's all part of that dysfunction, LGBTQPIA. All of us part of that community of dysfunction and unnatural behavior. But somehow they've been able to slide their way into these political positions and bully people into accepting what God said, come on now, is unnatural. It's not me, it's what religious folks have said. But that's one group who I have not heard make a declaration against this foolishness. And so I'm saying all this to say, Dave Chappelle is using his comedy at a time where nobody's allowed to say anything about anybody who's trying to manipulate and bully. And what was the saying that goes, if you want to find out who's in charge, If you want to find out who's in charge, those are the ones you can't joke about. So you can't joke about Jews, too tough, meaning tell the truth, or no members of the LGBTQPIA, all of that. But you can make all the black jokes and say N-word all day long. Y'all go ahead and process that. I'm going to walk as y'all process that a little bit. All you doing stereotypical black jokes, Jews or homosexuals, everybody's slapping their knee. Ooh, that's them black people. And even these so-called LGBTQPIA black allies, they're slapping their knee too. But let me tell you something that is just such an act of desperation, and it's shameful and embarrassing. Now, Dave Chappelle spoke generally about trans community, period. How come you got a bunch of retarded Negroes out there with signs that says Black Trans Lives Matter? What's wrong with black folks? And then, I'm telling you, number of black chicks, they always want to be included in white people's space, in their face. It's the weirdest thing. I said, wait a minute, Dave never mentioned a race, except when he was talking about the dominant group in the LGBTQPIA, that is white folks. When he said, I'm a minority group, I'm trans, except when you want to be white. That makes you part of the majority. I don't think too many people picked up on that, because whenever someone says something that's filled with logic, it's like people's eyes glaze over, like they don't know what hit them. I said, people are really under a hypnosis. They really don't understand. They really don't have a clue. And I learned all this critical analysis and critical thinking from the scholars of the 1960s and 70s. You know, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Brother Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Joy Leary, but to recent years, Dr. Joy Leary. And all these folks, Brother Kwame Ture, Brother Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred Hampton. We learned all this critical and analytical thinking from the scholars before us, but it proves that black people do not read what the scholars have not read and don't care to read. That's why I wonder why all this stuff is such a surprise for the black masses. You said, Rico, you always turning into something that you're about to kick black people's drawers up their ass. Shout out to Kwame Brown. That's his quote. Kicking drawers up people's ass. And it's because I have to, because whenever white people are doing them, I have to look at black people and see how we're responding to white people getting into it with each other. It's like we just have to be a part of their stuff. And when I saw that Black Trans Lives Matter, I said, look at these sorry sons of bitches. They're disgusting. Such suck-ups, such kiss asses, such attention-starved weirdos. I said it. But you know what? These are the same bastards that even in that weird-ass Black Lives Matter movement, they said all Black Lives Matter. They went and infiltrated and broke their own damn black LGBT movement down by saying, well, we're a special group outside of black people. So trans really ain't shit. In the whole, I guess, context of everything, they ain't shit. It's the weirdest thing. And so, Dave Chappelle, and I appreciate him taking this stand. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Brother, we got you as well. You know, whether you take the potion or not, we still got you, because at least you let it be known, like, this shit ain't cool. He's talking about the mandate. You can't force people under a constitution. But that's under your wonderful president, Joe Biden. It's not a Trump thing. And so, Dave Chappelle is taking a stand, and let me tell you how people are handling this. And it's not in other communities are there. But I will say I appreciate those folks who came out. It was a fruit salad of colors, if you will, that came out and supported Kyrie Irving. I guess they really like sports and stuff, but we appreciate the stance. And the thing is, you know, I keep saying that the reason that they going hard on these celebrities for coming out was right because they don't allow them to become celebrities for them to use their power for good. They're supposed to use their influence to drive us to the grocery store. I mean, not the grocery stores, but to the department stores, to the jewelry stores, to the movie theaters, to the car lots. They want them to tell, hey, go buy this Taco Bell. Hey, go buy this coat, this jacket. That's why they don't want them to lead a revolution with 22 million followers on Instagram. They don't want that. That's why they want Nicki Minaj to close her mouth and just open her legs again. Y'all didn't hear me, did you? See, they know what they're funding. They know exactly what they're funding. Ronald Towns was good. They know what they're funding and who they're funding and why they're funding them to be famous or become a celebrity. And when you renege on that deal of them making you a celebrity, then they cancel. They use the power of their machine that made you. They use that same machine to break you, be it the media, be it TV shows, movies, whatever it is, whatever vehicle they use to make you famous. They take it away from you and then put out lies to say that you're mentally ill or you're on dope or something. Or try to put a child in your car, put dope in your trunk. Or accuse you of being gay. Eugene Stotts, Norman Street, Hollywood, what's up? What's up, bro? Kingsbury Elementary. Please tell your sister I said hello, bro. Cassandra, yeah, what's up? Y'all know some of my playmates when I was a kid. Used to come on that street and play all the time, ride the bike, throw the football, run up and down the street and shit. So, what's good, Eugene? And then they want to put this false narrative out that people hate them as it relates to their humanity. People don't hate LGBTQPIA. They don't. They might be annoyed, but they don't hate you. But, you know, they all, and then we saw the video with how they operate. The dude came up with with a Dave Chappelle sign saying jokes are funny. All he said was, we like Dave. And the members of the trans community and their intersectional allies attacked this man, took his sign, broke it off the pole, the wood stick, ripped the sign up, and then all they left him holding was a stick with no sign on it. Then they yelled, he has a weapon. And the whole world saw that. See, those are white people being white. At that moment, they stopped being trans and turned into white people. You mean the same white people that said, that 14-year-old boy whistled at me. The same white people that said, I was raped, he was so black. They call it Rosewood. No, the same white people. See, yeah, it's all bullshit. And I'm glad that Dave is opening that up. Because, see, they wouldn't allow anyone else who's not famous to get that far and to have that much of a platform. A lot of, your black R&B singers are not going to go that far because they're cowards. Your black actors are not going to go that far because they're cowards. The other comedians are not going to do that because they don't have that kind of support. The reason Dave Chappelle is not being canceled, you know why? Because he has a large white fan base. Cat Williams was our hope. Cat Williams was telling the truth. But see, Cat Williams, his base is mainly black people. And black people don't believe in standing behind God. Oh, shit, I almost said it. Black people don't believe standing behind someone who represents the actual power that the Creator puts inside of us. It frightens us. Because we still have that spookism that was drummed into or beat into us on the plantation and during Jim Crow when it was in your face. That real lynching. When it was in your face, that real stopping you because you're walking down the street and beating you or killing you. That real racism. And it's not this isn't real, but that overt in your face that's fucking with folks. See, they don't want that. We live in 2021. Blacks are still that kind of scared. And so Cat Williams said, fuck y'all, let me go ahead and make this money. Now see, now black people ain't gonna go crowd no building for me. They ain't gonna fill no stadiums for me, so let me stop talking about what's going on in this damn industry. and let me go and make my money. So that's why Cat Williams moved on. That's probably why a lot of other blacks who want to say it, who have got some money and stuff, they're like, these Negroes ain't gonna support me, so I'm not gonna do it. So Dave Chappelle has a large white audience. That's why you can't cancel him, and they don't know what to do. Dave Chappelle's in London, probably 65% white audience. So telling the truth. That's why he can't be canceled. There's one thing about white folks, when they support something, they support it. Even if you're a comedian on the stage, you're telling jokes, at least you'll get 6 laughs out of 20 people in there. But if it's black folks, they don't even try to support y'all. I do better, man. Ha ha ha. Oh, they boo you on out of there. But in the white, cause I've watched white comedians on stage, and white people tend to go to comedy shows to laugh. You know. But black comedy shows, you got to come up with some shit that you got to really dig hard. Almost like you have to go into stereotypes. And that's how a lot of comedians have gotten over. Can y'all hear me past this wind out here? I enjoyed the wind, but I know it might be annoying for you to hear my voice. If you can still hear my voice, give me a thumbs up and say, hey, Rico, I can still hear you. Because the wind is blowing. So I appreciate Dave using his platform. And it's interesting that only a comedian can slide through the cracks to say things that we really need, to be said, a comedian. Because those of us out here who are not comedians but speaking that truth, I say those of us like I'm just dropping bombs. Y'all forgive me. I ain't dropping no damn bombs. All you gotta do is read the books that the scholars left for us. We all can be dropping bombs, not only just on Facebook or YouTube, but we can come out to the streets. That's how we can rescue our community. Thank you, Kevin. And so it's still all on us. Ain't no Jesus Christ coming back. God has already sent the messages. The last one was Dr. King. But he'll send some interns to come trying to remind you every once in a while, even in the form of a Cat Williams, even in the form of a Dave Chappelle, trying to tell you, because the black religious have basically gone to sleep. They have nothing to say about anything except for, is a man gonna rob God? Who gonna mine this storehouse? That's all they worried about, the bastards. Then you got these so-called Afrocentric or African-centered preachers. And I have to tell you, all your parishioners who think your preacher is so black, he's so African-centered, if he's teaching out their Bible, in a sense, if he ain't got people out here, charging the school boards like they did like they did on January 6th. You ain't charging these school boards. You ain't charging these city council meetings and with your demands. You're not charging these politicians' campaign stops like they did on January 6th. Your preacher ain't talking about shit. He's not talking about black men and black women coming together and creating a unit. And that's how power structure. Your black preacher ain't talking about shit. And you can bring him to me and I'll debate the son of a bitch right there. Because all he gonna try to do is bring Bible scripture. I'm gonna bring him what the scholars taught us. Because one thing about Bible never defeats the scholars. Because the Bible is after the stuff that the scholars wrote. Come on, somebody. That's the same Bible that was given to people to make them close their mouths and focus on worship on a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person that Michelangelo grew. Was it Cyrano de Bergerac, his gay lover? Or de Bergerac, whatever the hell it was. So we ought to get into all that. Now, if your church is saying, look, we're finna raise money to buy this business, and also we're finna clean up this black ghetto around here, because most of your black churches, there's mega churches, got more than 5,000 people plus, they're always in some black ghetto. And the people around there look like just plumb trash while the church members come out with their noses in the air. They're not building anything. But I'm gonna tell you when churches fell off, when George Bush, I don't know if George Bush Sr. or George Bush Jr., when he introduced what's called faith-based initiatives, or FBI, when they start making churches 501c3s. That's the nonprofit tax exemption designation for nonprofits. When they started doing that, that's when churches went downhill. That's when you start getting your Creflo dollars and all them being able to have millions of dollars for jets and homes. And what's that white guy that white black folks love in Houston? Hello, friends. I know you're my neighbor. Hello, friends. What's his name? over there, friends, and keep blinking his eyes and shit. Over in Houston, wouldn't open his church up when they had the storm in Houston. That big ass church made out of a football stadium or a concert stadium. I'll think of his name in a minute. White man with dark curly hair. Yeah. See, all those people became multi-millionaires off a non-profit. What y'all think they got going on? You think they gonna teach the people about revolution? Joel Osteen, thank you, Mary Max. Welcome, girl. Joel Osteen, friends. Friends, I want to tell you, friends, God loves you. Friends. Now get out of here, man. Blinking your eyes too much. Know you lying. Free flowing dollar. Creflo dollar. All these folks, all are making a killing off that 501c3 money. You know, I come up with a nonprofit, say I want to do something for black males. I got to explain to the very end, what is black males? Well, look at statistics. Black males are at the top of all the negative statistics. Why wouldn't I have a nonprofit that strictly caters to black boys and black men? We got them all for girls. Nobody seems to have a problem. Matter of fact, everyone understands if you create a nonprofit, you need to have something to do with single mothers and girls in order for it to be successful. Paul Washington, what's good? My man, what's good? So, I'm just saying, Dave Chappelle, thanks, man, for showing these folks out here, millions of folks, that you can't, in numbers, we can defeat the foolishness. But we don't have to stop letting one person take all of the bricks, take all of the stoning. When there's so many of us out here who agree with what he's saying, it needs to be shown in the streets, not just on social media, but in the streets. LGBT, you are going down. Cancel culture, you are going down. And these corporations, y'all want to fire people because they don't want to call a man and address ma'am. We show them we're not buying your products anymore. Find out who the advertisers are. Stop buying their products. That's how this works. And also, don't be afraid to get in office and pull some political moves. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all have been trained to think that the governor of Texas is El Diablo. Look, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, I've been referred to him as the meanest handicapped man I ever seen in my life. But one thing about it, we don't have to worry about the bullshit that's going on in California and Texas. You won't have no grown-ass man in a beard because he got on a wig. He can go to the bathroom with my 6-year-old little daughter. But then how come they're not reporting all the acts of child rape when these bearded women go into these females' bathrooms? They're not going to report those numbers for some reason because it goes against their narrative of pushing BS. And say what you want to say about these Republican-led states. They don't have the foolishness that a lot of these so-called Democratic-led states. A lot of these Democratic states, money is flowing. People can find jobs. Now, do they have their flaws? Hell yeah. If they can stop half of them, stop being so damn racist. Yeah. But that's just, if you accept the way you live, that shouldn't be a problem. We live in the United States of America. So it's not just Republican governors, it's the damn Democrats. It's almost like what Malcolm X talks about. It's exactly like when he said, you got the fox and the wolf. We're around here and we believe the smiling teeth of the wolf, of the fox. And we try to avoid the growling of the wolf, but we let the fox in the hen house. They call him Joe Biden. And he's been eating chicken's ass ever since he's been in there. Been tearing chickens to bits. Every time he comes on TV, you see feathers around his mouth. But Malcolm X don't know what he's talking about. Malcolm X, what he said in the 60s, is almost as if he said it last week. And I said, damn, if God was real, it had to be Malcolm X. That dude was on it. But that's how we get tricked. We don't understand the difference between the fox and the wolf. They're the same people. They'll both tell your ass a new one. And so one thing about it, I'd rather be in a room with George Bush than Bill Clinton any day. I know George Bush don't give a damn about me. I'd rather be in a room with Donald Trump than Joe Biden any day, because with Donald Trump, I understand it's about business. He said, okay, well, how can we make money? Well, we can both make money by doing it. Joe Biden, oh, don't worry about it. I'll have my secretary to get right on it. Yeah, just give us a minute. Next, 4 years and went by. So when is your loving president going to meet with Ice Cube and his contract? $500 billion. Well, I mean, what's up? I mean, what's good? Oh, y'all want to talk about that no more? Okay. So anyway, Dave Chappelle taking the stand should be our chance to, it should be all those who agree. It's our time to take a stand with the brother. Just like Kyrie Irving, anybody else who goes against the powers that be. Those of us who agree, and by the millions, should be hitting the streets, writing these newspapers, not only just doing YouTube channels and Facebook posts and Facebook Lives. Everybody should be a part of it so they'll know those days are over. Get thee behind me, Satan. Come on, somebody. You will not rule this day. But we all, it's like it's means of individuals. So, but anyway, I just want to share that on this lunch break. Thank y'all, those of you who came in, sharing your lunch break with me. And y'all know here I got my Cash App. Hit me. If you think I'm cool with me. If you're fool with me, I got a PayPal and a Cash App. And I got a book, $10. Hit your boy. $ Rico the Opinionist. Get at me. In this Facebook page as well as on his YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist, Twitter, Instagram, Rico the Opinionist. If you decide to follow me or subscribe to my channel, do it at your own risk. What you see is what you get. My opinions vary, but it's still all about the progression and the protection of black men and black boys. Y'all be cool. I'll talk to y'all in the future. Peace, y'all.